Have you ever wondered how your tomatoes get to the grocery store or given much thought to the people who pick them? Lupe Gonzalo, a former farm worker herself, thinks about it all the time.
Son cosas que muchas veces.
There are things you don't want any worker to go through, so that's why you fight for change, to create a better future for people who come after you.
Así que, boycott!
Wendy!
Boycott!
Wendy!
Lupe now works for the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, or CIW, a grassroots anti-trafficking organization that advocates for farm worker rights and fights against forced labor in agriculture. They just wrapped up a 2-week campaign against Wendy's, one of the biggest fast food restaurants in the country. Hundreds of CIW members and supporters held protests in cities across the southeastern U.S., calling on people to boycott the fast food giant. For more than a decade, the CIW has used boycotts and protests like this one to pressure companies to sign on to its Fair Food program.
We launched the campaign for Fair Food in 2001. So it's been 16, 17 years of working to bring retailers in.
Greg Asbed is one of the co-founders of the CIW. He says they targeted the biggest fast food chains first, going after them one at a time.
The first campaign took 4 years to get Taco Bell on board. The second campaign took 2 years to get McDonald's on board. The third campaign took 1 year to get Burger King on board. I think Subway was a very quick sort of 1 month process. So you can see there was a way that it was unfolding.
Those restaurants all signed an agreement with the CIW, pledging to purchase tomatoes only from farms that follow a strict code of conduct to protect worker rights. They also agreed to pay a penny more per pound of tomatoes, money that goes directly to the low-wage farm workers as a line item bonus, in some cases doubling their paychecks.
For us, we know it's the right thing to do, and honestly, the impact on cost is nominal.
When it comes to the major grocery chains, Whole Foods Market was the first to sign on in 2008.
What you get is greater transparency to understanding how your food is produced that you're offering to your customers, and the assurance that you're making life a little easier, a little better for the people who do the hard work to produce the food that we're selling.
The Fair Food program includes mandatory worker training for all farm workers, a hotline so workers can report violations, and regular audits of the farms by an independent third party. Florida produces 90% of all tomatoes in the U.S., and today nearly every tomato farm in the state has joined the Fair Food program. The CIW's goal now is to add to its list of buyers. A major success came in 2014 when Walmart signed the agreement. Greg Asbed struggles to understand why fast food giant Wendy's refuses to join.
There's no justification. It is inexplicable at this point. The program is proven.
Wendy says it doesn't participate because it doesn't believe that it should, quote, pay another company's employees, just as we do not pay factory workers, truck drivers, or maintenance personnel. In March, Wendy's announced an expansion to its own code of conduct by adding additional safeguards and requiring third-party reviews related to the human rights and labor practices of certain produce suppliers. Wendy's would not provide an on-camera interview, but in an email wrote, "We do not believe that joining the Fair Food program is the only way to act responsibly."
I guess I wouldn't agree with that. It's not the only way to claim social responsibility, but it is the only way to ensure it.
CIW members say they are frustrated, but not deterred. They insist on calling Wendy's a future partner.
Que tarde o temprano Wendy's va a firmar.
Sooner or later, Wendy's will come to the table and will sign the Fair Food Agreement. And then we will all be on the same side, all fighting for justice together.
Amaryl Walker, CNN.